Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Ask Dr. Jack Show. I am Dr. Jack Belitz, chiropractor in Omaha, Nebraska.
Hello, everybody. I'm Aaliyah, Dr. Jack's assistant.
I do want to say, hey, we're not trying to give medical advice, just trying to give you great information you can use on your own. And by the way, before you go any further, like and share this video so that you don't forget at the end. Okay.
All right. So April is Autism Awareness Month. We work with a few autistic kids here in this office, and it's something that, I think we don't really know a whole lot about the subject matter as a whole. So we're going to talk about it a little bit.
All right. Autism is just a word that describes a whole bunch of things. It's basically a range of conditions that you can have. It's basically summarized by saying that people are challenged with social skills and maybe having repetitive behaviors and things like that. They can be verbal, they can be nonverbal. When you say the word autism, there's just so much that is involved. And there's really just no certain pattern. All autistic people are different because what they say is it affects people in different ways. Well, basically what they're trying to do is doesn't really affect people in different ways. They're trying to put an umbrella to cover what all these different types of people have, all these different conditions are. They're just making a single diagnosis to cover everybody. Basically, it's called a spectrum disorder.
Yeah, so he's right. It covers a lot of behaviors and a lot of different symptoms from, being nonverbal, repetitive behavior, learning disabilities, things like that. So it's a very broad term.
Yeah, and okay, so let's get right down to it and what causes it, because that's what a lot of people want to know. Now, this is where it gets a little controversial because there's this big connection that people are putting on Facebook and in the press and whatever to vaccinations. And I got to tell you, it is one of the big reasons why I never vaccinated my kids at all, because of that fear that there is that possibility that these things will happen under vaccination.
Well, because we can't assume that every single person is going to react the exact same way to every single vaccine. So we shouldn't treat, in general, in a broader spectrum, what causes something in one person may not cause something in another person. We know that with foods and vaccines and other drugs and medications in
everything.
General. So,
yeah. It's, I mean, there's people that can eat peanuts. There's people that are allergic to peanuts. There's people that can eat wheat and enjoy all that stuff. And there's people that are very, so this isn't just confined to, vaccinations. But, the problem is that we don't know if you're allergic to any of the stuff in there. And, quite frankly, is there really a connection between autism and vaccinations? I mean, you look at the percentage of kids that are diagnosed with these problems and the way it has skyrocketed, basically on even par with the skyrocketing number of vaccinations that are required. There's definitely, an overall possibility, a fairly large possibility that there's a connection here. But the problem...
1 in 39 kids now. That's, I mean, a class size on average is 20 kids. So, I mean, that's putting at least one autistic child almost in every single classroom right now in America.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of kids, a lot of pressure on society to deal with, these kids as they grow up and mature, because it doesn't really take away from their life expectancy. So, it's a big problem, and I think we need to get to the bottom of it sooner than later, because if there really is this but the problem is there's so much money involved.
There's a lot of money involved, and there's also a lot of money involved in, the treatment. Some of the treatments for these kids are depression medications.
Drug companies that produce the vaccinations, they have no reason to want to find out whether these drugs really cause a problem or not, because
they have no liability.
Exactly, they're completely immune from any cause that their product created. So why would you want to figure out if this is actually causing a problem if you can sell it anyway? And not only sell it, but in many states, it's the law that you have to take this. So they have a really good incentive not to find out whether or not these drugs or these vaccinations are, causing problems. And if that's really the case, they would be doing their shareholders a disservice if they were to actually go in on the limb and try to find this out.
There are plenty of studies done that are posted on government websites and the CDC that I will put in the comments below that do show autistic symptoms happening to children and people directly after having vaccinations. Whether it's 1 in 1,000 chance or 1 in a million chance, I suppose should be a chance that you choose to take or to not take, one way or another.
The big thing is education. Whether you decide to vaccinate your kids or not, nobody should make that choice for you. But you should understand that if you are in some place where you have that choice, that you should take that responsibility very seriously, because nobody else is out there looking out for your kid. So you've got to make that decision. And everybody, you could choose to vaccinate your kid and all of a sudden something happens to your kid and he does have a problem. But of course you could choose to not vaccinate your kids and maybe that causes a problem in the future. I don't know, there's no one way to do it. And if you choose one way, don't hold yourself accountable, because right now there are so many toxins in this life of ours. It is absolutely insane. And so, just the best thing to do is educate yourself.
All right, we'll get off our vaccine soapbox and we'll continue back onto autism. So what are some things that chiropractors do to help and work with autistic kids?
Well, one of the things that we've noticed about autistic kids is almost all of them have a GI issue. There is a big problem with the way the gut is working. So there's got to be a pretty significant connection between the health of your GI tract and the fact that you're exhibiting autistic symptoms. So that would be the first thing we would do, is clear that up. The next thing is, let's face it, autism is based upon the nerves and the nerves working. And so we need to make sure that nervous system is running clean and clear and through. And we just got brand new technology in about 2 months ago now that really does an amazing job of tracking how well that nervous system is working. It is amazing what we're able to do these days and how we can track and things like that. So there's a lot of really cool things that we can offer if you are affected by this in yourself or a family member or whatever. This would be a really great place for you to at least start your search for help in that regard.
Yeah, it can help with a lot of symptoms like the repetitive behavior. Chiropractic people tend to see a reduction in that. Speech can improve. The ability to make eye contact and things like that also have improved with chiropractic care. So
yeah, a lot of
amazing.
amazing things. Yeah. So anyway, I hope this was of some benefit to you to kind of pull the veil away from autism, because everybody hears the term, but unless you have someone in your family that's affected by it, you might not know really what it is. So that's a little bit more information for you. Hope you guys have a really awesome, happy, and healthy day. Anyway, stay healthy, Omaha.